Have you ever wondered if a woman could change the fate of an entire empire with nothing but her intellect and charisma? This is the story of Cleopatra, one of the most powerful, intelligent, and charismatic queens in history. Cleopatra, the last ruler of ancient Egypt, is remembered not only for her beauty, but also for her political acumen and strategic moves that left a mark on history. But her story is not just one of royal struggles. It's a tale filled with love, betrayal, and the battle for power. Ready for a journey into Cleopatra's legendary life? The rise of a young queen. Born in 69 BC in the great city of Alexandria, Egypt, Cleopatra came into the world as a member of the Ptolemaic dynasty. But she was not just any royal child. Cleopatra stood apart from her peers with her sharp intellect and thirst for knowledge. By the time she was an adult, she could speak 9 languages, understanding the power of knowledge and culture better than anyone around her. Yet, Egypt was in turmoil during her youth, with the shadow of the expanding Roman Empire looming over the kingdom. Cleopatra ascended the throne in these troubled times. At 18, Cleopatra became queen after the death of her father, Ptolemy XII, but she wasn't alone. She had to rule alongside her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII. However, instead of a harmonious reign, Cleopatra found herself in a fierce power struggle with her sibling. Egypt's political landscape was chaotic, and Cleopatra had to navigate this unstable environment. She was brave, intelligent, and determined, but her real test would come when she crossed paths with the mighty Roman Empire. Cleopatra's encounter with Julius Caesar. The conflict with her brother escalated, forcing Cleopatra into exile. Alexandria was under her brother's control, but Cleopatra was far from defeated. She saw an opportunity when Julius Caesar, one of Rome's most powerful men, arrived in Egypt. In one of history's most famous moments, Cleopatra had herself smuggled into Caesar's quarters, rolled up in a carpet. Her beauty, intelligence, and charm quickly captivated Caesar, winning his support. This marked the beginning of a political alliance that soon blossomed into a romantic relationship. With Caesar's help, Cleopatra regained her throne and once again became the queen of Egypt. But her ambitions extended beyond merely ruling Egypt. She saw Rome's power as a way to secure Egypt's independence and elevate her dynasty. Her relationship with Caesar not only gave her significant power, but also earned her many enemies in Rome. Cleopatra's dream of an empire. Cleopatra and Caesar had a son named Caesarion, who became a symbol of Cleopatra's hopes for the future. She dreamed that her son would inherit both Egypt and Rome, but these dreams were shattered when Caesar was assassinated in 44 BC. After his death, Rome fell into chaos, and Cleopatra was forced to return to Egypt. Yet she was far from giving up her quest for power. Her gaze soon turned to another powerful Roman figure, Mark Antony. Antony, a close friend of Caesar and a powerful general, was seeking to expand Rome's influence in the East. Cleopatra formed an alliance with him, using her charms and political savvy to secure his loyalty. This partnership soon turned into a deep romantic relationship, as Cleopatra and Antony sought to dominate both the East and the West, while strengthening Egypt's influence. The tragedy of Cleopatra and Mark Antony. While Cleopatra and Antony were in love, their relationship caused a scandal in Rome. Antony, who spent much time in Egypt and had children with Cleopatra, enraged his Roman rivals, especially Caesar's adopted son, Octavian. Viewing the couple as a threat, Octavian rallied the Roman Senate against them, leading to the declaration of war. This culminated in the famous Battle of Actium in 31 BC. The battle was disastrous for Cleopatra and Antony. Octavian's forces decisively defeated them, marking not just a military loss, but the beginning of the end for Egypt as an independent kingdom. Defeated, Cleopatra and Antony retreated to Alexandria, where Octavian pursued them and laid siege to the city. The legendary end, Cleopatra's suicide. Following their defeat, Mark Antony received a false report that Cleopatra had died. In despair, Antony fell on his sword, mortally wounding himself. But before he died, he discovered that Cleopatra was still alive. Antony was carried to Cleopatra's side, where he died in her arms. Cleopatra, however, refused to surrender Egypt to Octavian. She knew that if captured, she would be paraded through Rome as a defeated monarch, a humiliation she could not bear. According to legend, she took her own life by allowing an aspi, a venomous snake, to bite her. In Egyptian culture, the snake was a symbol of royalty and the gods, making her choice of death a powerful symbol of her reign. The fall of an empire and the birth of a legend. With Cleopatra's death, Egypt's independence came to an end. The country was annexed by Rome, becoming one of its provinces. But Cleopatra's legacy lived on. She wasn't just remembered as a queen, but as a legendary figure who used her wit, intelligence, and influence to navigate the treacherous waters of power. Her story has inspired countless artists, writers, and filmmakers. Cleopatra's life is a stunning example of how one woman could shape the course of history through sheer determination and political brilliance. Cleopatra's life was not just a chapter in history, but a drama filled with power, love, and tragedy. Her story continues to be told, captivating audiences throughout the centuries. So what would you have done? Would you risk everything for power,